I'm here right now with Stan Lee.
Rudy Rudiger.
This is UFC welterweight Sean Pearson.
This is Chum Lee.
It's Eddie Shack.
Vivek Tiwari. This is Linda Hamilton.
This is James Rammer of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
This is Kim Forey from Dawn of the Dead.
This is Colin Baker from Doctor Who, and you lucky people are watching Tommy Lee Raw.
How do you like Fan Expo so far? It's great today, Mr. Shack?
Fantastic. It's like there's a lot of different things. A lot of people that are dressed up funny too.
Absolutely. We saw a bunch of people for Sailor Moon actually bumping into us.
Oh, that's great. Oh, no, it's good.
And the Derek's from Firefly. I don't know if you watched that.
No,
I don't know what that show is. Yeah. How about the Leafs? They almost beat
they're going to charge more for different, like say that Montreal or Pittsburgh comes into town. They're going to charge a little bit more for certain teams.
As if we needed to be charged any more for Leafs tickets.
Isn't that something?
Here with Chum Lee from Pawn Stars. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very good, thanks. Gotta ask a question. What was the most amazing item that anyone sold to you before at Pawn Stars?
To me, the most amazing item was the lowrider because I got the old man in it up on 3-wheel motion, going crazy.
How's the old man doing? Good?
Old and cranky as ever,
Absolutely. What's the most ridiculous item they sold you before?
I don't know, man. People bring some pretty ridiculous stuff in there. I know someone tried to bring some woolly chaps in, but we didn't buy them, so we got some pretty crazy stuff.
For sure. Quick question, can I ever work for you guys in the future? I got the muscle power for a bodyguard, so all these 25 biceps I have here, so can I ever work for you guys?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I need a bodyguard. I'm not that cool.
Oh, you're a big guy here, so you can protect yourself too, right? So I got the karate down. I'm a yellow belt myself.
Oh, well then maybe we could hire you, man.
Awesome. Final quick question, Chum Lee. Any future plans for Pawn Stars show? Anything that the fans can be watching?
We just signed for 80 more episodes, so we're going to be filming all the way into 2015 as of right now. So that's another 80 episodes coming your way, so look out for those.
I'm here with the UFC sensation, Sean Pearson. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
Oh, very good, thanks. How are you enjoying Fan Expo right now? It seems to be very busy right now.
So far so good. It's just starting off. I'm sort of excited to go to the other side. Get the athletes over here, but I want to see all the comic side and everything else. But it looks amazing. Everybody's happy, and it's been a good time so far.
Of course, this lineup here is for us, right? Me and you. It's not for Hulk Hogan, whoever that guy is. I think this lineup basically for us, right? The huge lineup here, right? Okay, that was a bad joke. Sorry. I was just trying to say that.
I got you.
So what's any future plans? Who are you fighting? Anything going on with who your next fight's gonna be?
No, nothing right now. I'm hoping for November, December return, so we'll see what happens. I think Rory and George are on the November card in Vegas, so that'd be a cool card to get on. But yeah, right now just enjoying life. I'm out here trying to network some people, get some new fans if I can, see what happens.
Absolutely. Now, Sean, I am in a physical physique, but I like to get more into a physical physique, right? So is there a training method I can download for you from UFC website, or you can give me personally after this interview?
I give privates for like $500 an hour. No. But
I'm a poor college student. I can't afford that.
I think there's a Batman suit on the other side. Fit and molded. It gives you abs, muscles, obliques, everything. I think that's your best bet.
How are you liking Fan Expo so far, Mr. Rudiger?
Well, we're waiting for Hulk Hogan.
You're the true champ, though, right?
Everyone has a story, and Hawk entertained a lot of people, so he deserves that line. My story inspired a lot of people, and it's fascinating to know how much the movie has touched people when you hear the story, how it helped me. I had a guy earlier talking about how he survived cancer because of the movie gave him hope to keep fighting. So when you hear things like that, you say, boy, am I glad I didn't quit. I'm glad I didn't listen to Hollywood people say it's not a story, no one would watch it. You keep on going because you believe in it. And I think the results are from the message of the movie, that the people that come up to you, whether it's 1 or 100 or whatever, if it's 1, it's worth it.
Exactly. And I think you're a true champ in my heart. So if that means anything.
Well, a champ, thank you very much. It's, like you said, heart. I think of a hockey player, a lot of heart, a lot of hard process they go through. And hockey players and I get along because of the heart. It truly is. And not that football doesn't or that, but there's something about hockey. I love hockey. I'm not a hockey player, but I love the guys who participate in that sport.
I am here with Vivek Tiwari, author of the new graphic novel, The Fifth Beatle, the story of Brian Epstein. How are you today, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for doing this. Now, if you can just keep the viewers about what the book is about, maybe you can tell the viewers now?
Yeah, so The Fifth Beatle is a graphic novel and a feature film based on the life of Brian Epstein, who was the Beatles manager. And the book comes out on November 19th on Dark Horse. We're very, very excited about it. Brian was the man who discovered the Beatles when they were playing at the Cavern Club in Liverpool. They were a relatively popular Liverpool band, but certainly they were unheard of in the rest of the world. No record label wanted to sign them. No one believed in them. And Brian believed that they were going to be bigger than Elvis. And he was the guy that poured all his energy and love into the band to get them a record deal. He suggested the suits and the haircuts, and he really helped to bring their message of love to the entire world. So it is a fantastic untold Beatles story, and I'm really excited to be the one telling it.
Absolutely, Vivek. And I gotta ask you, what inspired you to make a graphic novel about Brian Epstein?
Yeah, so I discovered the Brian Epstein story when I was in business school, which was about 21 years ago, not to date myself too much. But I tend to be a little academic, and I thought that if I'm going to be working in the entertainment industry, I should study the lives of some of the great entertainment visionaries. And thinking that the Beatles and Brian were the team that kind of wrote and rewrote the rules of the pop music business, I thought I should study the life of Brian Epstein. And as I mentioned, this being 20-some years ago, there was no Wikipedia, there was no YouTube, there were no online resources to learn about Brian. There were and are no books about Brian Epstein in print. It's really quite stunning. When The Fifth Beatle comes out, it will be the only book, graphic novel or otherwise, about Brian Epstein in the marketplace. So I was stunned. I was like, why is it that I can go into a Barnes & Noble's and find a book about John Lennon's astrologist, and I can't find a book about Brian Epstein? And so it became this sort of mystery that I was trying to uncover through research, through interviews with people who knew him. And I was, at the time, a young man looking for a business blueprint in business school, wanting some inspiration, wanting to know how he came up with his marketing ideas of the suits and the haircuts. How did he get them a record deal? How did he convince Ed Sullivan to book them when a British band had never conquered the United States? And that's all in the story. It's a great story. It's wonderful, and that's all well and good. But it was the human side of Brian's story that I, at the time, knew nothing about that really struck a chord for me. And in brief, Brian was gay and Jewish and from Liverpool. And in the 1960s, those were three significant obstacles. It was a felony to be gay. There was quite a bit of anti-Semitism in the UK. And Liverpool, while it was a thriving port town and had two very important football clubs, there was nothing cultural really going on in Liverpool. So Brian faced a lot of obstacles to fulfill his dream. And while I certainly don't want to claim to have had the degree of obstacles that Brian had, as a first-generation young man of Indian origin, I could really relate to that struggle, that sense of being an outsider in your chosen field. And so the Brian Epstein story is just it's a labor of love for me. It's a passion project. I've often thought of Brian as my historical mentor, somebody who I never got to meet, but whose life I look to for inspiration. So that's what it is. Yes, I'm a Beatles fan, and it's a great joy to be telling an untold Beatles story, but truly it's Brian's story I find to be an inspiring human story, and that's the real reason why I wanted to tell it.
How are you enjoying this great Fan Expo experience, Mr. Baker?
I'm loving Toronto, and I'm loving the fans. It's a really good experience here. This is only Friday. We had Thursday evening and we've had Friday. Heaven knows what Saturday's going to be like, but people have been brilliant. They're really nice. I like Canada.
We love you here. You come for the maple syrup, right?
I came for the maple syrup and for your brother, the dentist.
Absolutely, my brother's getting love. Just to say, what do you think of this phenomenon, Doctor Who? It's still going on. Are you shocked how it's still continuing this show?
Well, I joined the phenomenon when it was 20 years old, and I was already aware that we had a tiger by the tail. So I wasn't that surprised when it lasted for 50 years, which it now has. But I guess viewed objectively, it is amazing. You know, we've even beaten Star Trek. Yay! We've beaten Star Trek.
Who cares about Star Trek?
Well, I think William Shatner does. He's a good man. I met him a couple of conventions. Yeah, he's all right. But yeah, Doctor Who is something special in Britain, and it's quite clear to me now that a lot of people think it's something special all over the world, and I had a little part of it.
Final question, Mr. Baker. What's any future plans for yourself specifically? Like I hear you're performing on stage.
Well, I've got a few plans. I've taken most of this year off to do a lot of these kind of events, celebrating the 50th anniversary. But I'm doing a short tour of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in November in England, and I'm playing the book. And then I'm, as I do every Christmas, I'm taking part in that bizarre British phenomenon, pantomime, in which I am playing Ebenezer in Aladdin. Wow. There you are.
How are you liking Fan Expo so far? It's
I love it. It's a great show. Thousands of people here, great fans. Toronto's a wonderful city, great restaurants, a lot to see. And Fan Expo is a premier show, and I'm seeing a lot of friends I haven't seen in years, and certainly a lot of cohorts and actors and celebrities that I've known over the years and have appeared in other places with. So it's good to see some of them here. I'm waiting for Ron Perlman to come in, and David Hasselhoff was by a few minutes ago, and who else? Of course, Barbara Crampton's over here, and Chumley, of course, and of course the absolutely irresistible Linda Hamilton.
Oh, very irresistible.
God, I am so hot for her. I have been for so many years.
I have a very...
My wife was seeing this, is she? I didn't mean it, honey. It was before you
no,
thought.
Honestly, Ken,
Didn't do anything.
I'm a ladies' man myself, so yeah. So
I'm not a ladies' man.
If you
talking, dear.
If you need my help, I could definitely approach Miss Hamilton and say Ken Forey, you know.
Oh, please tell her. Tell her. Just mention my name to her. Just say Ken Forey adores you from a distance because he's married.
They call me the Game. Before the game book was out.
The Game.
I gotta ask you a serious question, Ken.
Yeah.
You know what? You look like a very tough individual. You know, very tough. I myself am a very tough, rugged individual back in the mean streets of St. Catharines, Ontario.
Okay.
So if they came out with a new Dawn of the Dead, I think both of us should star in it as these tough hombres who beat up the zombies. What do you think? Get an agent?
I think that as soon as we find anyone who will listen to you and I and really take us seriously and put $5 or $10 million into a bonded account, and we have it there. We have a check written to us for our first week's salary. It clears. We're going to have a hell of a. We're going to be a dynamic duo. We're the new dynamic duo, you and I. But only when the money's in the bonded account.
We'll be irresistible.
We're not when we are irresistible as it is. I mean, look at all the loneliness now. They're all standing in the back of the camera right now, and they're just giving us the Google eyes and they're drooling a little bit. I don't know.
They're here for.
Look, they're coming. They're approaching us now. I'm thinking, I can't. God, I just. Is it your magnetic charm that's doing this?
It's both of us. Both of us.
God, I thought I'd lost it, but I guess there's a little tinge left in my body, maybe.
We have a new nickname for us. We're called the Games.
The Game. We're all the Games.
Or they forget that.
Oh, we're the Games, babe. Give me. The Games.
The Game.
Are here, babe. Watch out. There's a new player in town.
Absolutely.
And it's called the double-headed toy right here.
Pop the collar. Pop the collar. Final question, Mr. Forey, is what's in the future for you personally? Any interesting, exciting thing?
Waiting. Got two offers. Well, yeah, I got two things coming down the pike, and one I'm waiting to start shooting next month. So yeah, so we're waiting, and then I won't say anything until I'm there, because you know those things happen. So I'm very optimistic that I will be working next month. Pray God.
I am here with the beautiful Mrs. Linda Hamilton. How are you today?
That's Miss Hamilton.
Sorry about that, Ms. Hamilton.
Proudly Miss.
You are a proud woman, just like we're all proud. Yes, and I'd like to say, how are you enjoying this Fan Expo so far?
Very good. Well, what I enjoy is the people. But you know what I really like? And it sounds like I'm just kissing ass. I don't know. Are you Toronto?
Absolutely, Toronto.
I love Canadians. I mean, they're the nicest people in the world. And I mean that, like, you know, from like a really planted place. I just love coming to Canada.
And we're good at hockey.
And you're good at hockey.
I have to say, I interviewed Ken Forey.
Yes.
And on our interview, he said that he has a little crush on you, actually.
Well, you take this microphone right back over there and tell him it's mutual.
Wow, there you go. Actually, I told him.
The show's also called Cupid.
I'll be honest with Hamilton. I told him people call me the game. I have charms with ladies, and I would try to help. But you know, it's already done. So
already done. You'll have to help me some other way.
Absolutely. Quick question. I heard you did Beauty and the Beast, 1989. How was that experience?
Well, that was 25 years ago, so I can barely remember. But it was very. You know, not early television, but like so different from anything that anybody does today because everybody is so sophisticated and we have these amazing sophisticated shows, dialogue, you know, Sopranos. And so it was from a different time and it was really just sort of romance and a lot of poetry and symphony, and I think it would probably bore the crap out of anybody that watched it today, but it certainly had its place in that time and I love doing it. I'm a friend of Ron Perlman's to this day.
Hockey history, who would you like to face on the breakaway?
Probably Mario Lemieux. I think he was probably the greatest player to play, so that he'd be the guy.
And can I ever have a tryout with the Maple Leafs ever? Like I have the physique that you have, so I have the 24 Python. So what do you think?
I think definitely. I think you'd probably on the first line on our team. You know, you look like you got some skill, so I definitely give you a tryout.
They call me the Asian Curtis Joseph back in the day. So. Final question is, how's the Leafs looking right now? The positives are coming on right now, getting new players. How do they look right now? How do you guys looking?
We look real good. I mean, obviously we had a pretty good year last year, and we made some great acquisitions this year. So, I mean, on paper we're looking good, but I mean, obviously you got to you make it work on the ice. So, but it's looking good.
Here right now, Stan Lee. Mr. Lee, how are you enjoying Fan Expo right now?
I'm loving every minute of it. The people are wonderful. The convention is wonderful. Everybody is so enthusiastic. It's just a great convention, and I'm having a great time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee.